Really?
Yep.
Oh, for sure. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy 3 Stacks in this thing, representing the squad. Apologize for the energy or enthusiasm not being as high as normal. It's really late, man, and we've been up all day just putting in work. So today I piloted ZEFRAs. I took it to Houston Regionals. We finally had a Regionals in Houston since like last year. I ended up getting a 15th place, top 32.
Yeah.
We got our invite for this season with ZEFRAs. I was really happy. I did have a lot of fun. I enjoyed myself. There's a lot of diverse decks out there, like a lot. We saw it was like you couldn't even like break it down in a pie chart and be like it was 10% this. It was like nah, 3% this, 2% this, 2% that. It was like just all over the place with the decks. So pretty much round one, I lost to a good friend of mine, and then I was undefeated after that until round 8. I took 1 L. And then round 9, I got it, and we played a lot of different decks. I think I'll get more into the tournament report after I do my deck profile, because I don't want to take too much time. So I'm going to start off with the main deck. I'll kind of explain my card choices as we go along. I do have a lot of new stories to tell, because today was just amazing. Like, I made some plays that I didn't even think I could do. So starting off with your monsters. So we played 3 ZEFRA. ZEFRA is like literally the best scale in the deck. You absolutely want to open up with this card as soon as possible. You want to draw it, search it. Heck, I even use my Electrum to get to my extra deck because it's literally is that important. As long as you have this on the field, any skill that you draw, you can make plays. So when you're grinding, like this is a resource. Like it's just insane. And when you summon it, it's more insane. Like I didn't get to do that today, but you can actually summon this card pretty easily from the extra deck. And once it's on the field, it's ugly. And then I played 3 ZEFRA Neo or ZEFRA Nui. I think it's Neo though, it's the way it's pronounced because of how it's spelled. This is the lifeblood of the deck. This starts the engine. When you look at this card, it says it searches Yang Zing or ZEFRA spells or traps, but he actually searches the whole deck because the cards that you search anything. So this card is like pure engine, and he's gonna load him to your extra deck so you can summon him. This is the only Pendulum deck that I know right now that has a 2-card combo where you can open with 3 negates off of 2 cards. And that's literally just a Terraforming, Oracle of ZEFRA, or ZEFRA Providence, plus either a Dragon's Ravine, Terraforming, Dragon Shrine, or Foolish Burial. Any combination of those 2 cards, 3 negates. And because of the flexibility of ZEFRA, that's why I was able to draw, you know, like so many traps and then hand traps and then like 2 actual cards that can be played. As long as one of them is ZEFRA, I don't care what the other ones are. And that's what makes this deck so good, so powerful, because it doesn't have to have every card in your hand doesn't have to be insane to go off. You just need 1 or 2 good cards. And ZEFRA Nui is just retarded. Like grinding with this card, searching your 9 pillars and making your opponent neg while you plus, it's just broken, man. And then on my 1 of ZEFRAs, so she is probably the MVP of today. She's like the infinite resource. I was grinding a lot, especially against the Mech Knight Invokes. I grinded against 60-card dinos. They were going off, man. She was like the endless resource. I like ZEFRA because I did play against a hand trap heavy deck today, and I abused him at least twice to mask ZEFRA Neo as Chain Link 1, and this is Chain Link 2. Because this is like one of the very few effects you could trigger off turn 1 when you're going off, because like these have to pop something, and when you're going first, your opponent doesn't have anything on the field, so you kind of use him in tandem with ZEFRA Neo to make this Chain Link 2 so they can't Ash Blossom anything at all, which is really good. He opens up so many different options in the line of play because you can synchro with him. And these just break boards. This pops sets, this pops face up.
I know I've seen you use this guy a lot. This guy is pretty good.
Yeah, he's dope. He's like a Dryden.
Yeah.
Any face up cards. And it's just whenever there's summon, like normal or pendulum summon, which is really good. So I played the 10 ZEFRAs. They were very, very good to me. I didn't really have issues with consistency. It's like people didn't believe me. I played a 55-card deck today, and I didn't brick not once today. Like, not at all. Even in my worst hand, all I did was open up with a Divine Strike and a Jackal King, and that's a brick. Like, that's still a good hand. So I'll hop into the engine cards now. So I played 3 Astrograph Sorcerers. I'm not playing this to make, you know, Vortex or anything like that. I'm just playing this card because it adds my resources back and it gives me pressures. ZEFRA is a really powerful control deck. It's able to pretty much, you know, negate anything it wants to. Its issue sometimes is that follow-up play. It's like, okay, what do you do now after you've done the best play of the deck? After you shut your opponent down. And what you do is you make Electrum and you go in for game. That's exactly what you do. And Astrograph helps you because that 25 makes a difference. It's pressure. And then, of course, I played the 3 Chronographs. Chronograph, I kind of like him a little bit more than Astrograph most of the time. Because like whenever I'm in a bind or a pinch, just having this in my arsenal, I always use my Electrum to turn it into a Borload Dragon and then draw. Because this special's one from hand and I'd go straight into Borload. That's how I whooped True Draco Metaphors. That's how I whooped Pure True Draco. I played 2 different True Dracos. I 2-0'd both of them. The first one, he honestly got waxed by Red Reboot. The second one, he just got outmaneuvered. So I really like this card a lot. It's a good pressure card. I also play 3 copies of Master Service. Master Service is flexible. He's your searcher going first to set up your negates, and going second, he's a pressure card to break boards for you to hit for more damage, and also to pretty much make Electrum. He's another combo piece like these that just get a pendulum on field before you normal. And I played the 2 Jackal Kings. This is a perfect engine. They complement each other. Jackal King is insane. Like I recall when I played against Altergeist, I didn't know I was playing against him, but game 1. I actually opened up with double Jackal King and 9 Pillars and the ZEFRA Divine Strike, and I also had FA Don Dragster, this guy right here. So I actually had legitimately 5 negates, and after he played through all of them, he revealed to me that the last card in his hand was Soul Kitties, the wind one, and he scooped it up after that. It was just too much, like way too much. I was like, dude, like this deck is broken, man. So these are all your Electrum Turbo cards. And for a little bit more engine, I do play Darkworm. I find that this card has extremely high value. It's not incremental whatsoever. There's really no replacement for this card. In fact, this card originally was the supplement for Joker for, you know, magicians. And I do play 2 Donuts to have the search target for it. It works really, really well. You need a second target a lot of the times, and Gate 0 and Zefrath are literally the best skills in this deck because they have no restrictions to the levels or anything like that. You can pretty much summon anything, so I like the 2 and 2. Even sometimes you find yourself having to pop this with your Electrum, and then the second one comes up because you added off an Astrograph, because you're just trying to like summon an Astrograph without, you know, like losing cards that you actually have. Like for example, if I know that I'm gonna need my Zefrath, I'd rather pop the Gate 0. And I do play a pair of Purple Poisons. Purple Poison did a lot of justice today. It helped me even in the Altergeist matchup because I attacked over the Soul Kitties after it got baited. And what I did was I boosted and then I popped the Altergeist Protocol so that my counter traps can now negate anything that he activates as far as, you know, Altergeist go. It was the star in the Draco matchup, just Astrograph, Purple Poison Astrograph, beat right over the Masterpiece, pop the Diagram. Outing the what's it called, the anti-spell fragrance. There's nothing bad about this card. It's stupid. Purple Poison is amazing, and it's a level 4, which I needed more level 4s because sometimes I need to make Dweller, and the issue with making Dweller is like I don't play enough level 4s sometimes. So it's like there's so many good reasons for playing the Purple Poison. And I do play Star Time and also Perform Power Adi Synchron. These are the 1-ups that you can actually afford to draw. This deck doesn't play like those 1-ups where like, dang, I drew it so I break. Like these are 4 skills. You can play with 4 skills because you actually pendulum summon for 6 a lot. And this card, you can even scale this up. It doesn't really matter. But this is part of the combo. I only resolved the combo twice, but you can make Calamities, or you can hand loop your opponent twice, rip 2 cards out their hand, and then set up 2 negates, which is 4 out their hand, before they even get a chance to play. So this is it's a power play. It also makes other synchros that I really, really need. So it's just like, it gets me out of binds when I'm in a pinch. Then my hand traps, I played 3 Ash Blossoms. The reason why, I was playing 2 before, I was playing 2 of every hand trap. The reason why I bumped this though was not only because I knew Spirals would have Resurgence, but because I knew Altergeist in their multi-faker plays would be like relevant. I knew that Nightmares would be a thing. I just knew that 60 card decks would be out there. I knew that it was just a really, really good call to play the 3 Ash. And every time I opened this card, it was like when I used it on something that it was like if I didn't have Ash, I probably would be losing right now. So she was very, very good to me today. And then I play a pair of Ghost Ogres to complement that. Ghost Ogre, I don't think I actually ever resolved Ghost Ogre. Maybe like, I think I resolved it 1 time on a diagram. But that was pretty much it. I just didn't draw it. I didn't understand Like, there was Electrums, and I just couldn't Ogre the Electrum. I actually had to play into boards that I really wish that I had an Ogre for, because, like, some of those boards I would have lost, but, you know, really, the saving grace of today was actually Destrudo. This guy, Captain Save-A-Ho, bro. Like, he's just putting in too much work. What I would do, how I was playing the deck, I was playing it incorrectly, because I used to use Destrudo and Black Rose as a bait. What I ended up doing today was I would play my other cards as baits, because I want to resolve Black Rose. When Pendulums, like I played 3 Pendulums, when they commit to their board and they make that board full of negates, they have 0 cards in hand, or they have 1. When you break that board and you wipe every card that they have, you set them so far behind that not only do they have to get 2 scales, but after that they need to Pendulum summon more than 1. So when resolving the Black Rose was more important than like setting up my scales, so I committed to that. This Strudel's insane. It either breaks boards, it makes boards, or it's another negate. When you have your standard combo of 3 negates, this makes it 4 just by having the Strudel or access to him, because he makes Don Dragster, and that negates pretty much any spell, trap, or effect. Then for spells, we played 3 Oracle of ZEFRA. I like this spell because it's very flexible. Whenever you draw it, it depends what situation it is. Obviously, going first, you're going to search your ZEFRA. But going second, this can, you know, out boards. It can help you. Like, for example, today, against the Invoke guy, he did, like, you know, some scapegoat shenanigans. He ended up doing, like, a Nightmare combo and all that. I used Oracle of ZEFRA. I got out my ZEFRA Thubin. And what I did was I popped, I think it was his Link Karibo. And then I went into board load and swung and took his Unicorn. And that was pretty savage. And I was like, you know what, like, I like that this card gives you all those options on the plays you can make. It can be an infinite resource too, because you could grab Zephyr Wendy. And all of this card's effects are broken. Like, people don't even read. Like, you see all those dots? Bro, those are all the other effects. This field spell has 7 effects, and you can use each one of them once per turn. It's insane. This is one of the best field spells in the game. I do play Dragon's Ravine. So just by playing Dragon's Ravine, it literally increased my ceiling by at least 22% more than what it normally was, because Dragon's Ravine transformed my Optimus Primes into cards that make Electro. Because this dumps Dark Worm. Dark Worm searches, you set that up without normal summoning, then you can normal and make your Electrum. So now, just by playing the Dragon's Ravine, I turn these 4 cards into cards that can either Black Rose, make a bigger board, or cards that can go into Electrum before I Pendulum Summon. So, like, now I play, what? The Cerberus 3, 6, the Chronos, and then Astros 9, 12, 13. I play 17 cards that summon Pendulum monsters before I even normal summon. So it's like a lot of Electrum Turbo cards. So that's why I play the 3 Terras. It also helps me to see my Oracle faster too, but it's just, like, it's insane. Like, it's such a utility card. And then some cards on my side deck, this helps me to see them. So I play 3. I wanted to maximize this deck. Like I said, it's really consistent. If you see any spells, it's a really good thing. And then we played 3 Dragon's Ravine. Dragon's Ravine was just stupid. It was never a bad card today. Like, bro, I drew 2 and I used both of them. 1 on turn 1 and 1 on turn 2. It's just, it's too good, man. Like, you gotta play it. And then I do play 3 Zephyr Providence. It's the searcher for any Zephyr card. And then after that, when a Zephyr card would be destroyed, you just banish this from the grave instead. So it protects your boards. I even Black Rose literally for free. I Black Rose and my Zephyr Thubin was in scale, and my Zephraf and my Oracle of Zephyr. I saved my whole board by banishing this in the Black Rose Resolve, and it pretty much turned to, like, not even a one-sided Raigeki, because it hit his back rows and his monsters. It's just like, it's a blowout. And then Foolish Burial. Foolish Burial, just like Dragon Shrine, it's going to be sending Destrudo or Dark Worm. There's not really any other targets. Like, you could play Zephyr on Pilica, and you can combo off with cards like that, but I like dumping the dragons. So your spells, like, every one of these are consistent. Whenever I had one of these in my hand, it made my hand like 1,000,000 times better. And then for the traps, I decided to do this ratio. I played 2, 2, and 2. Now, every Zephyr player is going to play this, and they're going to tell you this is correct. That's fine. I don't, you know, like, counter anybody's logic, but my reason for playing these cards is pretty simple. I grind a lot. When I play against good players that run good decks, I need to be ready. I have to have backup. I need more defense. You know, I need more layers of disruption. And these are practically free for your Zefrath. Not for your Zefrath, your Zefranu. Being able to search these. Especially once you've resolved 3 of these. They always think, you know, you're out of targets. You keep searching these. You keep negating. they're gonna get to the point where they don't have anything for you to negate. I originally was playing 2, 2, and 2, and my reason for playing the 2 Zefra Wars was because of ABCs and Amano Iwado. But as I realized, Amano Iwado doesn't hurt my deck at all. I've never lost to the card, and I'm like, I don't care about my monster effects. I just play back rows, so it was just like, you know what, the 1 Zefra War's fine. It was clutch. It got me out of bind. It outed an anti-spell today, and that's what got me game. I had to literally like set my Oracle of Zefra, then activate it, and then play this and hit the anti-spell and then go in for game. So now the extra deck, we're playing 3 Electrums. I was playing 2 before. 3 is so necessary. There were so many games I'd go through 2, and I'd be like, dang, man, if only I had the 3rd Electrum. So I was like, nah, forget the ifs. We're playing 3. And then a board load. This is a grown man card, man. Like, I have so many board load stories. This card's just, it's really, really amazing. Board load is just savage, dude. Like, there was not a single game where, like, I made board load and it was a bad thing. Like, it's just, every time I made it, it was like I was going in for the win. And then for my level 9 synchros, I played Gothams for the full combo. Cloud Castle to revive Gothams, and Chao Feng because he's insane. In your Spiral matchup, this is just one-sided. It's a win condition. So you make this with Earths. They can't resolve Super Agent, they can't resolve Quick Fix, and they can't double Helix because they're Earths. And he says my opponent cannot activate those effects. So it's like a one-sided Calamities. Then we play Black Rose, Yazi, and Don Dragster. These are all for Destrudo and for your Zefraxi. And sometimes you'll like Dark Worm. You'll like Dragon Shrine, your Dark Worm, and then normal like an Ash or an Ogre to go into one of these when the situation calls for it. So they're pretty easy to go into. Yazi's just a beast. He can be targeted. He's popping cards every turn, and then he floats. He's stupid. And Don Dragster is an MVP because it negates spell traps or effects, so it negates the Draco traps when they hit the grave, and it also negates continuous cards like spells and traps that are already on the field that try to use their effects again. So he's busted. One of my favorite cards, man. Like, it's so good. And then I played Metaphys Horse as well. I think I used Metaphys Horse one time. It was to take a spell masterpiece. I said masterpiece. But yeah, it was a spell masterpiece. I think that he didn't really have a choice because like he was trying to resolve Demise, so he summoned masterpiece first and then Demise, and he drew some pretty decent back row. You know, he had the Erupt and the anti-spell. I unfortunately had the out when he did the anti-spell. On my standby, I red rebooted him. He revealed to me that he already had the Erupt, and I just proceeded to go in for my Zefra combo. I took his masterpiece, and it was just game over from that. And for my XYZs, I played True King of all Chlamydia. I played Naruto. I played Dweller for the Draco matchup and for the 60 card matchups. Just, it's a really good card. And then I played Supreme King Starving Venom because he's broken. Like any monster effect that I don't have, he'll give it to me. And for my side deck, I side decked 3 evenly matched. This card, I only drew it 2 out of the 9 rounds that I played today. But funny thing, both times were against Dracos. The first time it wasn't that much of a blowout. It only hit 2. But the second time it was against the Metaphors Draco dude. This guy opened with the Fusion. He opened with Masterpiece. He opened with Tornado Dragon. And he had Pop Guiding or Adonate to Search Strike. I evenly matched all of that and then Kaiju'd his Masterpiece. Evenly matched was pretty good in the times that I drew it. 3 red reboot. Me and my team, like, we're preaching this card. This card is just stupid. It's just, like, it's some good stuff, man. Dracos and Altergeist cannot win when you resolve this. Like, if you already have the correct opening and you know you can win, you just don't want them to stop you, you red reboot. And the reason why I side 3 of this is because my deck plays counter traps itself, and I know red reboot is popular. So people will try to red reboot like my 9 pillars and stuff like that, and then I'll hit their reboot with my own reboot, and then all my plays go off at that point and they can't stop me. And it's stupid. It's undeserved wins. It's not fair. Even hitting D barriers and like, you know, anti-spells, rivalry of the Warlords too, like almost got killed by that card if I didn't have this. This card's insane. I played a pair of Twin Twisters just to hit like Floodgates, back row heavy decks. It's really good. Even in the Spiral matchup, you just got to target the right cards. And then board wipes, Dark Hole Raigeki, and 2 Kaijus. I feel like 2 is perfect. I really didn't miss, the 3rd or the Slumber. And I did side 2 deep barriers. Funny story, I drew 2 of these, and it cost me a duel. And then the Zombie World. So playing 3 terraformings is the reason why I only need to play 1 Zombie World. But you pretty much, you just set up your full combo. You go off with your board full of negates, and then you just play this, and then Dracos just automatically lose. because their only way to out this is actually to activate Diagram and pop a spell because they can't tribute it. But the issue is you play all these cards that don't let them activate Diagram, and Amano Iwado doesn't negate traps, so it's not gonna happen. I'll say, yeah, that's pretty much, you know, the deck profile, you guys. I had a good time. I played a lot of beast decks. Like, I think the only deck that I played that I felt like just wasn't good was the pure Draco deck, but that's just because I don't think that deck is really skillful. But 2 of our teammates got our invites. You're gonna see us at Nats, and we're gonna strive to, you know, go for like first place and, you know, second and third, stuff like that. But we're gonna be working really, really hard to get you guys some more content as well. So I appreciate you guys. I love y'all. God bless you. Make good choices. Don't hurt your brain cells. Peace.